You've accepted the invitation to be the president of the Caples for 2020, which is fantastic. And so this little bit of our conversation, I think, will go out in a newsletter in July.
Okay.
That's all right?
Yeah.
So we've got, I think, 4,000 people signed up to the Caples newsletter. So what would be interesting, I mean, just what do you think the main difference between Cannes and the Caples is going to be?
I think it's blurring a little bit. So I think there's quite a few differences actually, but I think it's blurring. I think when I judged the Caples many years ago, it is still a fantastic community of people, but the work was from the same kind of agencies and the same kind of work, and I think that's all been thrown up in the air. I think those agencies are doing better work, and you're definitely seeing that in the Caples, but new people are coming in, and I think actually the time of year, some agencies have cottoned on that it's almost like a pre-Cannes, which I think is fantastic, because we as judges will get to see the work. It's a testing bed. I mean, the Caples judges are not pushovers, so they'll be in it and on it and all over it. But I think the work has got much more exciting, bigger agencies entering, and I would advise anybody who's entering Cannes to put your work in there first, because it's testing ground, find out what didn't work, what didn't, if it's new work, and get it ready. The jurors, the difference will be is that you'll have the same bunch of jurors judging everything. So there will be not just a standard in a category, but a standard overall, which I think is going to make it quite tough.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're certainly looking forward to having you.
I can't wait.
And I think that's a really, really interesting sort of distinction you've made between the two. Also, so tell me about your experience, again, with the Caples, because you are a Caples familiar, if you know what I mean. So
I think for me it was so I can't remember, I'd not long taken over when I first entered the Caples. I'd not long taken over at Leader as the ECD, and it was where we first started winning, and I think that's because there were like-minded people again who understood the medium. And then I remember coming out to judge and talking about the wonderful experience of saying Cannes, the camaraderie. There is, you're not going into the judging room thinking what's wrong with this work, why shouldn't it win. It's about why should this win, finding the positives, and really hoping that the work's going to be brilliant. Not, oh my god, there's obviously jealousy when you see great work, but it's not a mean jealousy. It's like it's more of a celebration, I guess. Whatever it happens to be, it's just a warmth, I think, which is really special actually, because often you'll go and you'll judge an awards and you walk away and you never talk to people again. So that's what's different. It's those friendships have lasted for years, not just a couple of months after the awards.
What kind of work are you hoping to see? Admittedly, I mean, this is a bit crazy because it's not for another 9 months, but
I'm sure we'll see some stuff we saw in Cannes. I kind of want work that makes me gasp, I guess. So it's like in lots of different ways. Wow, that's really, really clever. Or, oh my god, that's broken my heart. That's amazing. Or wow, they got those results. Whatever it is, I just want it to make me gasp and have a physical, visceral reaction to it, rather than that's clever and be logical about it. I just want that instant. And when you're in a jury room and everyone's doing the same thing, it's like, wow, that's magic. So that's what I want to see. I tell you what you really need to do, and that's bring back Courageous Client, because I clearly saw it in my category this year in Cannes. So if you think about that Burger King client, and he wrote a thing, what I love is his quote is so brilliant. He said, it's indirect, direct, this is for Whopper Detour. And you think, right, okay, so we've got a business problem. The ordering, in-app ordering of food's going to be it's going to be 38 billion orders this time next year. We're way behind. We've got this massive problem. We're going to do a voucher. And the agency said, no, we've got this idea, which is Whopper Detour. He said he did try the voucher first, didn't really work, and then they did the Whopper Detour, which was huge. It's a really interesting story, and I think that client and the other Burger King client who also approved Burn That Ad, which is, I think, more audacious, which is like, wow, you're actually going to burn McDonald's ads. Fantastic. Absolutely deserve their own awards. So I think we should encourage it. You can see that those clients who are brave, are the ones who are winning in award shows and obviously winning customers, which is what they did with Burger King.